The movie opens up with a girl named Chae-young, who can never withstand someone bullying her or anyone else. She is seen walking in the hallway of her school, being booed by her classmates and other students. Turns out that she's been suspended from school for getting involved in a fight with a group of students and injuring them badly. After Chae-young gets expelled from her school, her father, Dong-pyo, takes her to a new school for enrollment. When the homeroom teacher gets to know that Chae-young was actually expelled from her previous school for bad conduct, she urges Chae-young to control her anger and attitude or else she will get suspended again. Moments after leaving the teacher's room, Dong-pyo warns Chae-young to ignore the bullies rather than confronting them. He then asks her to wait for him and rushes to the nearby washroom. While Chae-young is waiting for her father, she notices a group of students bullying a geeky boy, Jang. The students are accusing Jang of not helping them cheat in the exams and start beating him badly. In the meantime, Jang mentions that he didn't let them cheat to keep the examination fair to others who study hard. At first, Chae-young ignores the bullying, but when she realizes that Jang has a fair point, she decides to record the beating. Unfortunately, she's noticed by the group of bullies and one of them asks Chae-young to give them her phone. Chae-young refuses to hand over her phone and as a result, the bullies attack her. Surprisingly, Chae-young fights back with ease and knocks each one of them down. Meanwhile, Jang is taken aback to see a girl so bold and effortlessly beating up the bullies. The next day, Chae-young is introduced to her new class and to her surprise, Jang and the bullies are also present there. While Jang gets excited, the bullies are terrified to see her. After school, Jang approaches Chae-young to thank her for saving him, but she asks him to stay away from her. Later at night, two drunk men eat food at Jang's diner and refuse to pay for it. When Jang's mother asks for the money, they push her away. Jang also tries to confront them and act strong, but the men beat him up and go away. In the next scene, while Chae-young is walking to her new classroom, the female leader of the bullies, Chae, stops her and urges to give up her phone. Chae-young reminds her that asking about another's phone is a violation of privacy, and tries to walk away. Seeing this, Chae attacks Chae-young but ends up getting beaten by her. Afraid, Chae-young's bully friends run away from there and Chae also walks to her classroom embarrassed. At the same time, an impressed Jang can be seen looking at all this. Again, after school, Jang approaches Chae-young and requests her to teach him karate. At first, Chae-young refuses, but when Jang mentions that he wants to learn to fight to protect his mother, she agrees to help him and brings him to her father's karate training center. Jang fills out the form and Dong-pyo asks him to join the session the next day. The scene then shifts to Chae, who is currently at the student council, talking with one of the council members, Hae-sun, whom she also likes secretly. She complains about Chae-young and suggests the council take action against her as she disrespected the seniors. Hearing this, Jin-hyuk, the president of the student council, agrees to punish Chae-young. On the other hand, after the class, Jang can be seen at Chae-young's father's dojo to attend his first karate training session. He's made to practice leg splits on his first day, causing great pain in his groin. The next day, Chae-young is asked to come to the student council, where Chae, Hae-sun and Jin-hyuk are waiting for her. Jin-hyuk inquires her about the fight with other students, and Chae-young clears that she was just defending Jang from being bullied. After knowing that it was actually Chae-young's group who instigated the fight, Hae-sun lets Chae-young walk away from the room, making Chae and Jin-hyuk angry. In the next scene, Jang and Chae-young are at the karate practice session where Jang asks Chae-young why she prefers to remain alone and silent, despite being so pretty and bold. Chae-young replies that she does not want anyone to enter her life and walk out of it without her approval. She knows that none of the friends are permanent, and one day all of them will depart. Hearing this, Jang says that though people walk away, the memories will stay with them. Chae-young seems to like his interpretation, but does not speak a word in front of him. Later at night, Hae-sun, Jin-hyuk, Chae and some other students can be seen at a restaurant partying, as a celebration for the return of their friend, Kong-sik. He is the one who got suspended from the school for bullying. The group wildly enjoys the night, while Hae-sun feels uncomfortable sitting around them. Later, Hae and Jin-hyuk step outside and have a chat where Jin-hyuk mentions that he's thinking of joining a gang. Hae-sun despises his decision and requests him to opt out of it. Jin-hyuk on the other hand tells Hae-sun that he's already met the gang leader, and now he just needs to pay the entry fee to be a member of the gang. The next day, the leader of the gang, Sang-jin, arrives at the student council to meet Jin-hyuk. During the meeting, Sang-jin urges Jin-hyuk to pay the money fast and also lists the privileges that he can have after being an official member of the gang. However, when he approaches Hae-sun, he mentions that the latter can join the gang without any charges. Turns out that Hae-sun is good at boxing, and this is why Sang-jun wants him in his gang. Despite the persuasion, Hae-sun refuses the offer and walks away. In the meantime, Jin-hyuk becomes angry for not being able to collect the required amount of money, and feels like beating someone. He then orders Kong-sik to bring Jang to the student council. In the following scene, two bullies from the Jin-hyuk group approach Jang and start bullying him. Jang fights with the bullies with ease, but in fact, the whole scenario turns out to be his imagination. In reality, he ends up getting beaten by the bullies. Right then, Hae-sun notices this and asks the bullies to leave Jang alone. Seeing Hae-sun disobeying Jin-hyuk's orders, Kong-sik intervenes and starts beating him. Fortunately, Chae-young arrives there and asks Jang to join her for the karate practice sessions. When Chae-young grabs Jang's hand and starts taking him with her, Kong-sik attacks Chae-young. To everyone's surprise, Chae-young beats Kong-sik quite easily, with her unique karate moves. Her fighting skills flatter Hae-sun and he instantly falls for her. After the fight, Hae-sun requests Jang to take him to the karate practice sessions. Following this, Hae-sun also joins the karate practice sessions at Chae-young's father's dojo, and decides to learn only defensive moves. While Jang wants to learn karate to protect his mother, Hae-sun wants to learn it to be closer to Chae-young. However, Chae-young does not like Hae-sun as he's also a part of the bully group. Knowing this, Hae-sun clears Chae-young that he has left the bully group and wants to change himself. The next day, Jang Jin calls Jin Hyuk and pressures him to deposit the entrance fee as soon as possible. With no source of money, Jin Hyuk orders Kong-sik and other bullies to approach the school students and ask them for money as a tribute to the student council. The bullies quickly get to work, and when they threaten a studious boy inside the washroom, Jang notices them and decides to confront them. He tries his best to fight the bullies, but due to his lack of sufficient karate skills, he fails and gets beaten instead. Later that day, a sad and angry Jang visits Dong Pyo and tells him everything about what happened to him at school. He then requests Dong Pyo to teach him some hardcore karate moves. Seeing Jang's seriousness to learn karate, Dong Pyo gives him his first task, which is to hit the wooden pile 1,000 times with his fists. While Jang is doing his first attack, Chae-young and Hae-sun also arrive and join the session. Following this, the three of them start some serious training and help each other during the sessions. This results in Chae-young developing a soft side towards Hae-sun. In the next scene, Dong Pyo has to go out of town for some work and he asks the three to practice on their own. As soon as he leaves, Hae-sun requests the others to go out and have some fun. He also mentions that he has 3 movie tickets and suggests they go to watch movies. At first, Chae-young refuses to go with Hae-sun, but when Jang requests her to go, she agrees. Next, the group goes to the movies, and after that, Jang takes them to his mother's diner. Jang's mother is very happy to see that her son has finally made some friends and thanks Chae-young and Hae-sun for being with Jang. Later, Hae-sun and Chae-young return home, and on their way, they stop at a supermarket to get some drinks. At this time, Chae-young asks Hae-sun about his past and why he wants to change himself. Hae-sun mentions that he's grown up in a very toxic environment where his boxing teacher used to abuse him a lot. He reveals that he has always been around bad influences and finally wants to get out of it and bring his life on a better track. Hearing this, Chae-young feels for him and assures him that she will help him in the process. The following day, Hae-sun meets with Jin Hyuk, who informs him that he's finally paid the entrance fee and is now officially a member of the gang. He also states that the gang will now have control over the whole school and the students. Hearing this, Hae-sun requests Jin Hyuk not to do so, but Jin Hyuk dismisses him. Instead, he asserts that he will harm Chae-young. This enraged Hae-sun and the two get into a fight. Surprisingly, Hae-sun defeats the bully and leaves him embarrassed. Later, a distraught Jin Hyuk approaches Se-na and requests her to poison Chae-young and finish her. In return, he also promises to help her get closer to Hae-sun. After some time, Se-na messages Chae-young and asks her to come to the student council. When Chae-young arrives there, Se-na apologizes to her for all the trouble she has caused and offers her a drink, which has been poisoned. Meanwhile, she inquires with Chae-young about her relationship with Hae-sun. Chae-young replies that she has no interest in Hae-sun and that he's only a student at her father's dojo. Hearing this, Se-na realizes that she is doing wrong and spills the poisonous drink just in time before Chae-young could drink it. In the meantime, Jin Hyuk enters the room along with Kong-sik and slaps Se-na for not carrying out the plan. Kong-sik then grabs Chae-young by her neck, making it difficult for her to defend and even move. Meanwhile, Jang overhears his 2 classmates talking about Chae-young being captured by Jin Hyuk and his men. He then immediately finds Hae-sun and tells him about the situation. Hae-sun in turn calls Jin Hyuk to find out the truth, and the latter confirms Chae-young's capture and urges Hae-sun and Jang to come to the school's gymnasium if they want to save her. Wasting no time, the duo rush to the gymnasium and find themselves surrounded by Kong-sik and a number of bullies. As the two are now trained in karate, they manage to defeat all the bullies and head toward the student council to save Chae-young. Inside the student council, Chae-young is tied to a chair by Jin Hyuk, and when Jang and Hae-sun enter the room, he threatens to kill Chae-young if they step forward or try to call the police. Chae then asks Hae-sun to kneel in front of him and starts kicking him repeatedly. Seeing his friend getting beaten badly, Jang lands a harsh blow on Jin Hyuk, diverting his attention from Hae-sun to him. Despite being trained, Jang still cannot match up to Jin Hyuk's fighting skills and gets severely beaten by him. During this time, Hae-sun manages to free Chae-young from the chair and she becomes ready to unleash her wrath on the bully. She easily overpowers Jin Hyuk and with just a few of her advanced karate moves, she defeats him. In the last scene, Dong Pyo's dojo can be seen filled with a new enrollment of students, especially female students wanting to learn self-defense. The movie ends as Dong Pyo is excited to teach the new batch while Chae-young and Jang wait for their turn. With this, the movie ends.